Welcome to CasewareVids. This quick vid will demonstrate using rounding relations in the financial statements. Rounding relations are used to change the appearance of figures in the financial statements and to balance the financial statements. Rounding relations affects only cells in the financial statements document. It does not affect any numbers in the working paper's trial balance. Rounding relations can be set in the financial statements document, the firm libraries, and the cash flow worksheet. This quick vid will review basic rounding relations, apply a rounding relation, modify a rounding relation, and review advanced rounding relations. Please note, rounding relations are not the same as currency rounding to thousands or millions. Rounding relations, as they pertain to this quick vid, may be necessary due to decimals in the trial balance rounding to whole numbers in the financial statements, therefore creating discrepancies between two line items that should match. Rounding relations are designed to automatically resolve these rounding issues in the financial statements. Once rounding relations are applied, the following message appears in the financial statements. If you are seeing this message and would like to turn it off, you can do this in the Options drop-down in the financial statements. Opening the financial statements as a default, rounding relations are turned off. To access rounding relations from the template menu, select Options. There are two options applicable to rounding relations: Modify and Apply Rounding Relations. Select Modify Rounding Relations. The Rounding Relations frieze opens and displays all the rounding relation options. From here, you are able to add, modify, and delete rounding relations. A rounding relationship is created between any three cells. It works as follows. The difference between cell A and cell B is adjusted to cell C, provided the difference between cell A and B does not exceed the established tolerance. Each of these cells must be defined by the user. Select Modify a Rounding Relation. Select the Label drop-down. Caseware provides pre-existing rounding relations for the balance sheet and cash flows. Any rounding relation that was set up in the content libraries is also imported into the financial statements when content is inserted. Your firm may have modified Caseware rounding relations or added additional relations in the library. Classified 11 is a rounding relation established in the balance sheet in the current year, while Classified 12 is a rounding relation established in the prior year. It is important to remember to review rounding relations for all the periods displayed in a format. Select Classified 11. Notice cell A and B are populated with cell numbers and the title and period of the cell are displayed. Selecting on cells A, B, and C, and the cells are highlighted in the financial statements in colored boxes. A permanent method to view the cells which are affected by rounding relations: from the Case View menu, select View, Preferences, and select View Rounding Flags. Select OK. Double-click cell A to jump to the cell within the financial statements. In this example, if the difference between total assets and total liabilities and equity is less than 5, the difference will be adjusted positive or negative to payables. When modifying a rounding relation, you are able to modify any Caseware firm or engagement-created rounding relation. For this demonstration, selecting cell A, taking note of the value, then selecting cell B, the difference between these two cells is 3. To apply a rounding relation, from the template menu, select Options, Apply Rounding Relations. Once applied, and selecting cell C, a value of 3 has been added to the payables line and the balance sheet balances. Due to the option View Rounding Relation Flags, established in Preferences, notice flags appear in the cells indicating it is part of a rounding relation. In this example, there is no other value in the payables line item, therefore it is not an appropriate line item to round to. With the rounding still open, change cell C to Receivables. Take note of the value in Receivables. Select Save, and the value in Receivable is changed by 3. No value is present in the payables line, and the balance sheet is balanced. If we modify the tolerance for this rounding relation to 2 and select Save, when a rounding relation exceeds the tolerance, numerous recalculation errors will appear. When an error message appears, it is necessary to review your financial statements and correct the error. Please note, the error dialog will appear multiple times until the rounding discrepancy is resolved for all the rounding relations in the financial statements. In this simple example, changing the tolerance back to 5 again and selecting Save resolves the recalculation errors. Additional features within rounding relations are the ability to add and delete rounding relations. For advanced users, if desired, multiple rounding relations can be set by using the plug condition. The plug condition is the condition that makes this cell be skipped as the plug cell. If the condition is evaluated to be true, the difference is not plugged here and another plug cell is searched for. If the condition is evaluated to be false, the value of the difference between cell A and B goes into cell C. Use Add to create additional cells for the plug conditions. Use Delete to remove cells for the multiple plug conditions. Rounding relations combined with Financials feature to link from Note, Statement, and Schedule combined become invaluable tools in enhancing the ability to automate your financial statements. That concludes the quick vid on rounding relations. Thank you for watching CasewareVids.